there are some challenges, but one of the biggest issue and one of the I would say one of the bottlenecks because of which IoT has not become mainstream, at least at the scale at which it was progressing, is security. So when IoT devices came out in 2005 to 2009, the attackers did not know much about IoT. And, when we look at the cyber criminal, normally they should have a motive to attack a network or a device. Typically, the motive is financial. So you must have heard the word of ransomware. So there has been a very recent attack in the US where they attacked some meat production plant. And so there was a ransomware. Then you have to. It's just like kidnapping, but you're kidnapping a device. So your device is kidnapped. Okay, the data is locked. Now the cyber criminal would say, okay, give me this much money, and then I'll give you the key to unlock that data or device. So it costs you a lot of money. So as I said, cyber criminals are normally would be motivated by money. So during 2005 to 2009, it was more of an exploration age where attackers were looking at what IoT devices are and what advantage they can get out of it. During this, one of the popular attacks happens, which is called the Stuxnet virus. It happened on the Iran nuclear power plants, and it caused a lot of problem over there. So then we moved on towards 2011 to 2019, which is like one of the eras for IoT where it became more mainstream, and it was being adopted in various utilities like water systems, SCADA, and it was being used in autonomous vehicles, IP cameras, and stuff, and some other stuff. So it became quite popular during this age, but still what happened was that most of the IoT devices were not equipped with any security protocols or security mechanisms. So that led to various kind of attacks. Okay, so one of them is the Mirai botnet. So what happened is that an undergraduate at Rutgers University, the State University of New Jersey, what he did was he launched a denial of service attack. A denial of service attack is like you send a lot of data to a device or a server, and then the server goes down. Okay, so he launched this type of attack on the university system during registration or midterms, and the university servers got down and no one could register or even take the midterms. Okay, so his motivation was not actually in terms of gaining money maliciously, but he wanted to show the university administration that their systems are vulnerable to different types of attacks, and he actually wanted to get hired by the university. So his motivation was to get a job, and that's why he launched this attack. And then, but later on, the virus or the tool that he created was used by other people to launch a very big scale attack in which really big corporates like Microsoft, Netflix, and these they were affected. Netflix was down. A lot of users could not access Netflix, so it caused a lot of issues there. Then one of the popular ones is the Silex malware. So the interesting thing about this one is that a 14-year-old he comes up with I would say some malware. And what that malware would do is that it would scan a lot of IoT devices, which were, Unix based, and it would see if the IoT devices were using a default login. So you have a default login, right? Default password. Most of the people would not even bother to change those default logins. So what this malware did was it would scan a huge number of IoT devices on the internet and then find those devices which had default credentials, and then it would infiltrate those devices and it would trash the storage. It would change the firewall rules. It would change the network configuration. In short, it would do everything to destroy the IoT device except for frying the circuits themselves. So this affected a huge number of users, and they thought that their IoT devices have gone bad, although they could have fixed it with just reinstalling the device firmware. But most of the people, they're not aware of these things, so they just threw away the devices. Okay, so these are some of the examples, and so that IoT devices are very vulnerable to cyber criminals and cyber attacks because they have not been built with security as one of the focus areas. And one of the reasons is that manufacturers did not want to put in too much money into security. Okay. So, but now, at least after all these attacks, many people have realized that IoT security is the real threat here. And then many manufacturers, they put in security mechanisms into their IoT devices. But I think still there are majority of the things still don't do it because they're coming from manufacturers who don't want to spend money on security. So there was another attack which affected almost 2 million IP cameras, so people's daily monitors, IP cameras, so that cyber criminals could actually spy